If you close your eyes and try to find out the nature of your true inner being, you will probably experience a peculiar sensation. You will find that, like happiness, it continually eludes you, and that when you think you have grasped your own self, it is only a state of mind which has since passed and is now only a memory. Practice this introspection for a few minutes each day, and before long you will be surprised at your development in this direction, for you will be enabled to come into far closer touch with yourself than formerly. The inner self will become illuminated, as it were. This practice will lead to the habit of escaping from our sense perceptions, to which most of us are slaves. As you get away from these and are enabled to withdraw more and more fully into your inner self, you will experience a sensation of reality and the ability to perceive the truth of things in a manner hitherto undreamed of. We do not perceive it for the simple reason that the veil of sense is between it and us. Lift this veil, and you will perceive truth clearly, as in the light of day. This practice of acquiring greater mastery over self will also put you more closely in touch with the great magnetic power currents of the universe, so that you will never feel exhausted or in need of nervous energy. There being an unlimited supply of energy in this universe, all we have to do is to learn to tap it, which we can do by these methods of psychic development, and we can draw upon it in any quantity we choose. With increased spiritual development and spiritual life, we will perceive that there is a universal brotherhood of mankind, and that nothing is really separated from anything else, that we are not separated from our neighbor, but that we are united in the great universal infinite intelligence which combines all. We may compare ourselves to trees in this respect. Each tree is apparently a separate being, whose leaves whisper to one another, and whose branches sometimes touch in the swaying of the evening breezes. But their roots are sunk deep into the ground and are often intertwined with another, while the common earth unites them all. In a similar way, we are united in the spiritual universe of which we form a part. Fundamentally, physically, we are united one with another. Meditation may be considered one of the methods by means of which we awaken the inner self, and frequently awaken our spiritual or astral senses, so as to cause them to function on another plane. At the same time, if this developing process is done properly, we build up walls of power about ourselves, which others will find it impossible to break through, by mental or hypnotic influence, even should they desire to do so. We cover ourselves with a sphere of energy through which nothing can pass against our will. All thoughts sent out by us into the universe have some definite purpose and have a certain effect, both upon ourselves and upon others. Thoughts are things. We can create a thought as surely as we can create a house or a chair, and, once created, there is no telling where this thought may stop or how lasting its actions may be. If these thoughts are good, helpful, and useful, they often return to us like boomerangs, with the added happiness and power which they have accumulated from others of a similar character in their flight through space. On the contrary, evil thoughts come back to us in the same way, and it will be found that they always return to their sender, with added power for evil or for good. See to it, therefore, that you only send out thoughts of the highest and best. Some people, when they first realize this fact, are almost afraid at first to think at all, for fear of the effects their thoughts may have. But this is a great mistake. Expression is the first law of life. We must learn to express. Express. The chief outward difference between a living being and a corpse is that one can express itself and the other cannot. Do not be afraid to express yourself fully and forcibly in any direction. Even the bodily expression of our feelings and emotions is quite justified. There is nothing to be ashamed of in conviction or in passion. It is the abuse of these which is detrimental. The power of the will may be used for good or for evil, as the case may be, and it has a great power in both directions, as the history of occultism has shown us. In the one case we have, as the result of the exercise of this power, various psychic phenomena, marvelous cures, and all the varied accomplishments of this world. On the other hand, we have the phenomena of witchcraft, black magic, harmful absent treatment, and crime. It all depends into which channel we direct the energy of our will. The soul must learn to find and experience itself fully before it can consider itself thoroughly alive and a fully developed entity. After this realization has been accomplished, then only should we direct our attention to cultivating and directing the latent energies which we possess.